Hello and welcome to your first spelling lesson for the week. So let me share my screen to see what we looked at last week. And we looked at the fur sound, F-E-R. And we had to listen very carefully to how we could hear that word, and that helped us with our spelling. So we looked at that if we doubled, we know we needed to double the R if we could hear the fur sound. Referring, referred, referral. You can hear that fur sound, that letter string, so we know that we needed to double the R. If the fur was no longer stressed and we could hear that f sound, reference, referee, preference, we know we didn't need to double the R. So that's what we looked at last week. Moving on to this week, we're going to be looking at prefixes that have a negative meaning. Okay, and we're mainly going to look at dis and miss. So on the timetable and dojo, there should be your spellings for this week. There's this sheet, and we know that it is all linked with prefixes. But what is a prefix? I'm going to give you two choices here. Is it a sequence of letters that appear in several words? Or is it a group of letters we can add to the front of words? So what do you think, A or B? I'm sure a lot of you have said B. Can we remember what letter A was? That's a letter string. That's what we did last week. So a prefix is a group of letters we add to the front of the word, and that changes the meaning or the purpose of the word, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. So we're going to be looking at the first rule, the first part of our spellings. So the prefixes dis, miss and un all give negative meanings. Now I'm just going to share my screen again. Hopefully, let's stop that one, back to me, and let's go to this screen. Just for a little reminder, a review of prefixes. Oh, come along, technology. Okay, so letters that go at the beginning of a word and change the meaning. Yes, stop. That means you. Make sure you're listening. So which of these prefixes means not? There are two. We've had a little bit of a look already. Hopefully we were listening and looking, and we should have realized it was miss. Oh, what's happened here? Is it going to go on? Yes, it is. Miss. Oh dear, what's happening here? So this prefix means wrong or bad. So we've got the root word fortune, and if I add the prefix miss in front of that, we get misfortune. So fortune is that we might get something. Misfortune, we've missed out on it. We're not going to get it. And the other one was, of course, dis. This also means not. Okay, so they're both meaning negative things. So if you agree with someone, you know you're having a conversation or you might have a discussion about something, you agree with the other person. If you add that prefix dis at the beginning, you don't agree with that person. So it's the opposite, it means not. Okay. Back to me. Let's go back to this one. So they all give negative meanings. So your activity for today going to sort these words. So I've given you a selection of words to sort into 3 headings. So in your book, you can put today's date, which is now the 1st of February. Make sure you're spelling February correct, because there's that strange R in the middle that you can't always hear. Monday 1st of February, spellings as your title. Create 3 headings like this example here, and I'll show you my book in a minute. We've got a heading with miss, and dis. And then work through these words, whichever way. You can either go across or down, and put them in the correct column. Now, like this first one, able, it's in 2 columns. So there might be more than 1 column that it's in, because I've got unable, that's a word, and disable, that's a word, to stop doing something. So let me go to my next camera. I think you have to come back to me first and go to this one. Oh, there we are. And if I share my screen as well, can I do that? Let's see if the technology will let me. Yes, it will. So I've got the words here, and hopefully you can see, and I'll make sure this goes larger just before we finish. So I've done unable and disable. And if I look at that next word, which looks like I'm going to go down, happy. If I'm not sure if I can say all the prefixes in front of that word, so I've got unhappy. Yes, that's a word. So I've got unhappy. I'm going to write that underneath in the un column. Mishappy. No, that doesn't sound right. Dishappy. No, that doesn't sound right either. Next one. Count is my root word. Uncount. No, that's not really a word. Miscount. Yes, that would be correct. So I'm going to go up to the top. Miscount. You might miscount something, your pennies, when you're going to the shop. Discount. Yes, that's a real word. Discount. So I've added those 2 in. Let me show you. How do I show that? Let's just check. Oh, no, that comes back to me. Oh, stop share. So maybe I have to do it this way. Is that when you can see my book? Yes. So I've got unable and unhappy at the moment. I've got miscount in the middle, and I've got disable and discount. So I'm going to work through the list, and I can add my words to the right column, remembering there might be more than 1 in each column. Okay, let's go back to this one. And then let's share my screen again, hopefully to here. Hopefully that's worked. Okay, so you've got me in the corner and you've got your prefix sort words. So if you want to pause the video, and then you can complete that table in your book. Okay, hopefully you've got that table neatly in your book, and we're just going to have a very quick look at the second rule. Okay, and I've written all the prefixes down here. And my question here is, what do you notice about these root words? Because there's quite a lot of information in this top box. The prefix in can mean both not and also in and into. And in these words, it means not. So inactive, you're not active. Incorrect, you're not right. So again, it's having that negative meaning. However, if the root word then starts with an L, it becomes IL rather than the in part. And if your root word starts with an M or a P, it becomes IM, impossible, immature. But then if your root word begins with an R, it becomes IR, irresponsible, irregular. We'll go into this a little bit more on Wednesday's lesson. But as I wrote them out here, what do you notice about the root words? Because we know they all mean not. Hopefully you might have noticed, well, if it's got an L, I know that I need to add the prefix IL. If it's got an R at the beginning of the root word, I know I need to add the IR. And if it's got the P and the M, I know I need to add the IM prefix. We'll do a little bit more of that on Wednesday. Okay, so we've got our bonus words. Should you choose to do a little bit extra. So we've looked at the first 20 of the Year 5-6 spelling list. So again, I'm just going to go through each page. You can have a little look and you can pause if you want to do an activity from either of those pages. So we've got competition, conscience, conscious, controversy, and the last one, convenience. So make sure you take a picture of your spellings. You're doing really well with your spellings and your handwriting. And let's go back to me again. Oh, there we are. And I look forward to seeing all that lovely work and lovely handwriting for this week. Okay, bye for now and see you on Wednesday.